Hey everybody, this is Flavio Romeo, and on this episode of the Towncast, we had the opportunity of talking to local resident Alessandra Curcio, who tells her story of how she was on the 7,000th show of Wheel of Fortune, ended up going onto The Price is Right as a contestant, and was there with her husband who was cheering her on and giving her some great advice, ends up being a winner, and then ultimately becomes friends with Drew Carey. All right, enjoy the episode, everybody. All right, everybody. So here we are. We're at Carlos Bagels, and if you guys, it's in Hawthorne, New Jersey. And if you've never been here, it used to be the old Andy's Corner, and they have amazing bagels. They've got great flavored cream cheeses, which my guest here is going to be having right after we finish this, right?
Yeah.
So I want to introduce you to Alessandra Curcio, but if you're American, then it's Alessandra Curcio. How do people usually pronounce it?
Alessandra Curcio.
Curcio.
Yeah.
Okay. So Alessandra Curcio, she's born and raised in Hawthorne, right?
Yes.
And what year did you graduate high school?
2006.
Shout out to class of 2006. What elementary school did you go to?
I went to Jefferson. Go Jaguars.
Oh, nice. All right. Go Jaguars. But the reason why we're here today is this is so exciting. It's the first time I've ever talked to someone who was not only on a game show, not only on the Wheel of Fortune, but has been on the show twice, right?
Well, I was on Wheel of Fortune once. I appeared as a guest a second time, and I was also on The Price is Right.
On The Price is Right, right. Okay, so you were on Wheel of... So this most recently, we got to go back to your history. So when was the first time that you said, you know what, I want to be on a game show?
Oh my God, I think I was probably at Jefferson School.
Really? Since
Yeah,
you always wanted
definitely.
to be on?
I was really young. I knew I wanted to be, on TV, and I loved puzzles, so I used to watch Pat all the time.
Now, did you watch it with your parents? Did your mom like it? Or how did you get introduced to it?
Yeah, I used to watch it with my mom, and yeah, that's where it started, watching it in my kitchen on those little tiny TVs.
Yeah. So when you were doing it, did you try solving puzzles and were you good
Definitely.
at it?
I was the one screaming at the TV all the time, and yeah, I think it was okay. I passed the test, so.
And how old were you when you said, all right, I'm going on, I'm definitely going, when you started?
So I think it was definitely after college.
Okay.
When I did Wheel of Fortune. So when I was much younger, I tried to be on Jeopardy, on Kid Jeopardy.
Really?
And yeah, it was actually really cool.
You got some deep roots in the TV game show.
Yeah, I really like it. So I actually...
You didn't make it on Jeopardy?
I had the opportunity, I took the test. I had the opportunity to travel to Boston, which was really cool when you're that young.
Yeah.
And
how old were you?
I think I was in middle school at the time.
That's so fun.
So I got to travel to Boston for the night and do a live audition, but I didn't get very far.
Oh, okay.
Those kids are so smart.
Yeah. That's so cool. That's so cool that you did that though. But that didn't deter you.
Nope. I knew I was gonna get on something.
So tell me the whole process of when you first made it. So the first one you made it on was Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah, so I made a video to get on Wheel of Fortune years before I attended a Wheelmobile event. The video didn't get
What's a
very
Wheelmobile?
far.
They travel around?
Yeah, so they travel around, the traveling Pat. He'll go to different venues. So I got to attend the event in Mount Airy in Pennsylvania. So basically what happens, it's like a bingo, where you fill out your information card, what your name is, what you like to do, where you're from, and then they put it in a bingo machine, and then they'll turn the machine and then pick a name.
Just random?
I think so. I want to say it's random, but who knows if they read the cards ahead of time.
Right.
So I was there, my husband was inside watching football, of course. but I was at the event.
Like a good husband should.
Yes, exactly, because, he
What's your
wanted to
husband's name?
watch.
Just call him out, 'cause
Oh,
he's-
Patrick.
Patrick has got to be one of the biggest supporters, right?
Yeah, so he's very shy, but he texted me and he asked me, were you called down yet? Because they would call, I think it was like 9 contestants every hour for like 3 or 4 hours. And I texted him and I said, not yet. And then finally they called my name. I was in the last group, I think. I think it was the last group or second to last group. And they called my name and I said, now I got called. So he actually ran from watching football all the way to the like event space outside.
Yeah.
And I was on stage and they asked me what I like to do for fun. So I talked about how I liked ballroom dancing.
Really?
My husband and I were taking ballroom dancing classes. We weren't married at the time. We were just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And he's very shy, so they asked me if I would do a dance. And I said, well, yeah, my dance partner's right there.
Oh,
and of course,
no, you put him on the spot.
like the shyest person on earth got on stage and we ballroom
and
danced.
he did. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
So he says it's actually like his doing that I got on the show.
Well, of course. That's so fun. So they do that, and then they send you to. Is it shot in California?
It was, but even before that, there's a chance that you might not get selected for the next step. It's just I feel like it's luck. And random. So they asked me to come to Philadelphia since I was in Pennsylvania for the Wheelmobile event. So I went to a ballroom at some fancy hotel in Philly, and we had to, compete and take another test and solve puzzles, and it was just super fun. I had a great time.
So how many different levels did you have to go through before they finally said, okay, come on out?
So I want to say
because I have no idea this whole process. This is like all. I'm not sure how many of you guys know, but this
it's
is all
so
new
cool,
to me.
and you should do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's what I said. I said, you know what? If they don't pick me, whatever. Just try again. 600 people get picked every year to do it.
Only 600.
Over 1 million people apply a year, supposedly.
Yeah.
So I'd say it was 3 steps. It was the Wheelmobile. Then it came down to, I saw that, the Wheelmobile, the audition in Philadelphia, which not everybody gets called for a follow-up. And then it also was a follow-up, if you will, in Philadelphia, but it was the same day. So they asked people to stay for an additional hour or so.
Okay.
And at that point, you're starving because you've been there since like 7 in the morning.
Do they feed you at all? No.
No, it was just
It's on your own.
It was, you're in the wild.
Right. So you go through those 3 steps, and then how long till you find out?
So they said it would be about 2 weeks. And of course, I was so sad. I was upset they're not going to call me. 2 weeks had passed. And then the day of one of my friend's weddings, I got the letter in the mail that said, congratulations, you've been selected to be a contestant on Wheel of Fortune.
Now, do you have to fly yourself out there? Do they do, right?
Yeah, it's all on you.
Yeah. Hotels, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you want to be on the show, you got to take care of it.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean, that's... So you get the letter in the mail, and how long after that did you go, were you on the show?
So I got the letter in, oh my gosh, I think it was end of 2018.
Okay.
And then by March of 2019, I was filming in Los
so it's
Angeles.
Like 3-4 months.
It's pretty fast, but pretty slow at the same time.
Yeah. And when you go, is it, make sure you bring a couple of days changes of clothing, right, in case you make it?
Well, for Wheel of Fortune, it's one and done.
Oh, that's it?
So it's, and unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't a big winner, so I was like, oh my God, I wish that they would.
Yeah, so what happened? So you go, because I know that you had some, you want to take revenge on the Wheel of Fortune.
I did.
Right? So what happened in 2019?
So in 2019, I had some very bad luck. That's common on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
You hit bankrupt. I even rewatched the episode the other day. I got lose a turn right before I wanted to solve.
Oh no! So you knew what it was.
So at that point, I think I knew it, I can't even remember right now because you black out.
I'm sure.
It's a real thing. Game show blackout is real.
Game show blackout. That is a thing?
Real. It's real.
You just forget everything that happened?
Everything.
Wow.
And so...
That was a Hess truck, by the way. If you heard that sound, that was a Hess truck. So you don't remember? I
don't remember most of the experience. So when I rewatch these things, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
So you watched it, and did it bring memories back, or are you just watching it like you're just viewing someone?
Well, I mean, I'm watching it. I didn't win big, so I'm like, oh, whatever. I need my game show revenge. So I only won $1,000. I won the first toss-up. Excuse me, I'm not able to talk now that I'm on camera. So I won the first toss-up. It was Pat Sajak's 7,000th episode, and I guessed that's a big number. The video went viral.
7,000th show.
Applause, folks. Go.
Let's do a toss-up. It's worth $1,000. Everyone have those devices? Let's go. It's a phrase. Vanna, happy 7,000th. Go ahead. Alessandra.
That's a big number.
It is, isn't it? Wow. You see what we did there? 7,000 episodes. I can't believe it.
And so I feel like that is what opened opportunities for me. So even though I didn't win big on Wheel of Fortune, it was big.
Yeah. Wow, that was his 7,000th show. I always heard that he's a nice guy. He's just a sweetheart of a guy. And Vanna was there too, right?
She was. Yeah, they're both super nice.
Yeah.
Vanna introduces herself before the show. She comes in while we're getting ready, but Pat kind of hangs low backstage.
Waits till you're on screen. So here you are. You got $1,000. At least it paid for airfare.
Yeah,
Kinda.
Some of it. Back then.
Kinda, yeah. And how long did they say? So they said this is the day you're on, and that's like you said, it's one and done. You win or you lose. That's it. You're done. There's no at the end of the week. Let's get all the winners back. And
yeah.
All right. So here it is. You're one and done. You come back 2019. And how long did it fester? Like, I gotta get back.
I was upset with everything that happened on Wheel of Fortune, so I think it took about a year.
Right.
And which makes sense because you're not technically allowed to be on another game show for a year.
Okay, so if you're on one game show, you can't apply to be on another game show for
At
a
least
year.
For Wheel of Fortune.
So you can be on other shows, but you can't be on the same.
Well, Wheel of Fortune has that kind of restriction.
Yeah.
But for example, The Price is Right says that you can't be on The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal for 10 years. But you could be on any other show as long as they allow it. Yes, I know. Oh my God.
So tell me about The Price is Right. Now, when did The Price is Right happen?
Okay, so The Price is Right happened a week and a day from today.
From today?
So June 3rd.
A week ago. So
yeah.
So tell me that whole process. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh my God. You know what? When I was on Wheel of Fortune and I had to attend the Wheelmobile event, to be on, my puzzle that I solved was a lucky guess. And I think it's been luck since then. My husband says it's been skill and luck. So
well, I'm hoping some of that rubs off right now. I could use some of that.
Yes. Go to the casino right after this.
We'll
go to Mount Airy.
Right down. So what made you want to be on The Price is Right?
So I actually attended the 8,000th episode of Wheel of Fortune, and I decided to request audience tickets with my husband since we didn't have anything to do the day before my Wheel of Fortune taping, which I was attending as just a guest, not a contestant. Though if you watch the show, you'll see me laughing at the episode that the contestant
We're going to try to find some clips. We're going to put the clips in this thing. That's great.
The contestant says right in the butt. That went viral. I'm sure you saw that. And I was there in the audience and they showed me like clapping at the end.
Yeah.
So, so we decided to attend The Price is Right because we didn't have anything to do the day before that taping. So.
And The Price is Right, like from what I've seen, you go as an audience member and then they just pick people randomly. Kinda.
That's what I think, but my husband thinks, or he says he knows because,
Of course. Italians know. Italians just know.
He says he knows. He said you were in an audition for like 15 seconds and you had no idea.
Right.
So
So they called you. How did that feel?
it felt like, oh my God, that's it. I'm out for redemption. This is it.
This is my chance.
I'm going to spin another wheel. I said, like, at that point, I didn't know how far I was going to get. I thought, okay, I'm up here, I'm standing, I'm on contestant row. I have this opportunity that's really cool, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so what was the first thing that you had to do? Do you remember, or are you still blacked out?
So I watched it now a bunch of times. The first thing I had to do was guess one of the prizes that appeared, and I can't even remember what prize that was. I want to say it was like a bench, like
So
or
they
a swing.
put something up, and everybody has to say 150, 151.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I always say to myself, if I was on that show and I bet 400, and then someone bets 401, and it's like 405, I'd have to punch him in the face.
Oh my God, you know, at one point, actually another Wheel of Fortune contestant got called up that I know.
For Price is
And
Right?
For Price is Right. We were up together, so it was like a bonding experience. And somebody one-upped him, and I literally like looked at the person that one-upped him, and I went like, it's like, what are you doing? I was so mad.
Just completely block him out.
Yeah, but he didn't win. So
Neither did she. So you bet on this thing, and you won.
And yeah, so I bet on a stand-up, or not bet, I gave the price of what I thought the stand-up paddleboard was.
Okay.
And meanwhile, they show, people in the audience, like, sticking up their fingers, screaming.
Higher, lower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I think it was 1,000 for a stand-up paddleboard,
1,000?
a clear stand-up paddleboard.
You guessed that high? I would have been like 350.
Oh, I think that was guessed.
Really?
I think so.
bet.
I think so.
Wow, so you won that, and then you go up.
And then I go up. And then it's like the rest is history. The rest is like, oh my God, I'm meeting Drew Carey.
Wow. And so you go up. Do you remember what your first game was?
It's called the Master Key.
Okay.
And I really didn't know how to play the game very well. So Drew was explaining it to me. And I was like, okay,
You're
I'm
on a
just
first
gonna...
name basis now.
Yeah, me and Drew. So I was up there with my friend Drew. And
My buddy.
my friend, my BFF, and I'll get into that more. But so he was asking me to say, like, if something started with a number or ended with a number, and they would give you two possibilities. And I think the first item was a frother, and I'm like, what is a frother even?
Right.
I've never
Obviously,
used
clearly
one.
you don't play golf. No.
I was gonna say, do they use it for golf?
Yeah, they make cappuccinos.
Yes.
right.
Okay, so somebody knows.
$29.99,
It's not just-
$39.99.
I think it was like way higher. I think it was.
Yes, because I'm in retail. I've been selling my whole life, so I see the prices of things. What they use, I think they use the manufacturer suggested retail price, the MSRP, which is always grossly higher than what you're really paying for it. So I lose all the time. Like, if I'm guessing, I'm like, $49.99. You can look it up on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's $149. I'm like, they're shopping at the wrong place.
Well, I've learned not to use a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's price. You have to use
Nordstrom.
the original. Yeah, exactly. The more expensive retailer.
Yeah. So you bet and you won. You obviously.
Well, I lost on that game, and you actually see the camera pan to my husband because he's trying to give me advice, and I go like, what are you doing? Give me the wrong price on live TV.
And did you say that? That's so funny. Your expression said it.
Yeah, my expression 100% said it. And then I was like, oh, great, I'm going to lose the whole show now because of him. So it came down to a car, what's it called? Like jumper cable?
Oh, yeah, jump starters.
Yeah, so it was one of those. And then, again, my husband gives me advice. And the whole audience is screaming.
They're all yelling and screaming.
I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
And no one's ever right. No one in the audience is ever right. Yeah.
No one. They don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So this time I listened to them, and I won. I won the key. And now what you have to do is Drew will walk you over to a set of keys, and you get to pick one key now. I have a 1 in 5 chance of selecting the master key.
And the master key goes to
It goes to a car. It goes to a vanity set. It went to a jukebox in perfect theme for The Price is Right. Wow. And some other stuff. So I picked a key. I was so nervous. I was like shaking when I picked the key. And then I heard the audience screaming at me like, no, put it back.
Of course, because they know better.
They know. So I was trembling, and I eventually needed Drew's help to put the key back.
Really? You're shaking that much?
I was shaking so much, and he's like, okay, let me help you. They cut that out, of course.
Yeah.
So I ended up picking the 5th key. And so he told me to walk over and see if I had won the jukebox. And I was so excited I won the jukebox.
Right.
And then he said, just for fun, let's see if you won a car. And I turned the key.
So did it turn for the jukebox?
I turned for the jukebox.
Oh, so you knew you won a jukebox.
I knew I won a jukebox. First of all, I didn't even know how to put the key in because I was like, I even told Drew I've never used one of these fancy old keys.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like this big and.
Oh, really? Was it like an old skeleton key?
Yeah, like a grandfather clock would use, but it was literally this big.
Wow. So you knew you had the jukebox.
I knew I had the jukebox.
You're happy. You won.
I that's what I said. Whatever. It's all history now because I ended up winning the car and I almost like passed out. I feel.
So
like.
what did he say? He said, "Come on, just for fun."
Yeah, check it out.
Let's see what
happens.
And you did.
And
you
I
went
did.
into the car
and it popped up with the win symbol above like the little lock, and I was like,
got
oh my
goosebumps.
god!
Wow,
it was so cool.
So you went from winning a jukebox to winning a car.
And a jukebox.
And the jukebox.
And the vanity set and all the
so
little
you won
prizes.
everything.
I had the master key.
That's
I won
the
the
master
whole
key is for
thing.
everything.
I clean swept the show, except I didn't win the frother because I guessed the wrong price. But
frother.
who needs a frother?
Exactly.
I'll go to Marshall's.
$19.99 at Marshalls. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. So you won everything.
I won the whole thing.
Did you feel like you were redeemed?
At that point was like, all right, I think I made up for what I could have won
Right.
on Wheel of Fortune.
Now for Price is Right, they have that. Do they still spin the big wheel?
Yup.
To go to the final thing? Did
So-
you get to do that?
I did. I was the big winner of the day, apparently, at that point. So I had to spin the wheel last.
Oh, right. So everybody has to go before you.
Yes, so...
Nice. That's a great feeling.
It
You
really
gotta clean
was.
up.
Even though I was, at that point, I was like, whatever, I want a car, I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm literally blacked out.
Yeah.
So my friend from Wheel of Fortune, he spun the wheel first. And he, I think he went over, and I was sad for him because I really like him. But I was like, you know what? He won big on wheel.
Oh, did he?
So he won huge,
Wow.
real big. So then another woman spun, and she spun, I think, 85. So 2 spins, it added up to 85.
Okay. So that's what you were up against.
So I was up against 85. So I got my first spin, I got 75.
Oh, so you need 15 to
I
win.
need 15. There's like,
There's only like 3 or 4 numbers you can
three
get.
numbers.
Yeah.
But I can only win if I get a 10 or 15, I believe. No, even more. See, I can't do the math now, and I couldn't do it then. Because
Right, 25 is the biggest.
25
gets you exactly 100.
gets me the dollar.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I did not get 25.
What'd you get?
I got 15.
Boom! So you made it.
And at that point, I was so confused, and I told Drew, thank you, and I began to walk off the stage.
Because you thought, I'm done.
I thought that's it.
And he said, where are you going? What are you
He
doing?
he literally said, I think she thinks she lost. and this is why me and Drew are such good friends, because when he asked you to give shout outs, of course they gave, the regular shout outs, and then I gave a shout out to my little Waffle, my dog, and Drew said, hi Waffle, woof woof.
Aww.
So
BFF.
BFFs
So you made it to, what do they call that last thing?
the showcase.
The showcase.
Yes.
You made it to the showcase.
I could not believe it. At that point I was
Now,
like, what
so
is
you were
even
the big
happening?
winner, so you went second, right? How does that work?
So I went first in the showcase,
Okay.
and you won't believe the showcase, okay? It was a...
Oh, right, you get to choose whether you
You
want
get
it
to
or not.
choose.
Right, that's who goes first.
And sometimes the showcases are like, whatever. So this first one was not even it was kind of like, what are you doing?
Lame.
It was so lame. It was
I'll
like
pass.
a gym-like kit or something.
Right.
It was a trip to Philadelphia.
Ooh.
big
Great,
traveling.
a 2-hour drive.
And
Wow.
it was a Jetta. And I used to have a Jetta. Recently sold it.
Well, and you won a car.
And I already won a car.
don't need
So it was
a
like,
car.
what am I going to do?
So
Like,
you passed.
so I passed.
And what was yours? Yours was everything else.
It was like the best like showcase literally ever. It was a Margaritaville cruise with I think it's a 4-night stay in the Bahamas. It's a barbecue island. It was this huge barbecue island that I am so excited to get delivered to my house because I'm definitely going to have a barbecue with my jukebox.
All right, well, let me know. I'll come and I'll do a little. Yeah, you got the
Yeah, you
jukebox
should have
out.
follow-up.
I'll do a little follow up. We'll do a live stream.
And then the last prize was a trip to the Cook Islands. And
The
I'm
Cook
like,
Islands, New Zealand.
off the coast of New Zealand. And I'm like, what even is this? I'll figure it out later.
Wow, what are the Cook Islands? I don't know how to cook.
Exactly. Yeah, I ordered a bagel.
They teach you.
So, so it's basically an island hopping adventure. So
So what did you bid on all of that?
so
Because it sounds like to me it's got to be like $28,000.
I put down, or I told Drew everything I basically told you, like
Yeah.
Philadelphia, like come on, and Jetta, like what are you doing over here?
Yeah.
I said $27,000.
Look at that.
I had a hunch that the other girl went over on her prize.
What did she say? She must be like 18. She had a new car, 19,
She,
20.
I can't remember
go
exactly.
higher?
It was I think like 31 or 32.
Okay.
And I was right. She went over,
She did.
and I just wanted to not go over because I wanted to win.
Yeah. And there's a rule also, like if you get it within 1,000, you get both.
250. 250.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
impossible.
So it's just as much as if you were to buy a vowel
Right,
on Wheel of
right,
Fortune.
right.
So
So you bid 27,000, and how much was the whole thing worth?
like, oh God, I was
40 or
11,000 off.
But you know what? She went over. The other
That's how
person
you
went
play
over.
the game.
Yeah.
That's how you play the game, and it's all been quite an experience ever
So
since
you
then.
cleaned up.
I cleaned them. I've
You
cleaned
got
them.
you got a car, a jukebox. You didn't get the frother. I think you should go back for the frother.
Do you
quite
think I
frankly. I think you
should?
should, quite frankly.
Okay.
All right, so you got that. You got that. You got the vanity. You got a barbecue island.
Mm-hmm.
You got. You didn't get the trip to Philadelphia. That's a shame. But you're going to the Cook Island. I mean, that's. How did you feel at the end of the whole thing?
Oh my God.
Was your husband just like?
You could see him in the clips where they zoom into him that he's like, oh my God, what is going on? He's probably like, I'm going to be on stage again.
Right. I'm the shy one. Why do I have to keep going up there? But you didn't have to ballroom dance for Drew.
We didn't. But, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
We're on stage, we're like jumping around.
Wow.
So
you
cool.
cleaned house.
I cleaned them out, and I am one of the biggest winners of the year.
So do they have, like, at any point during the year, do they have, let's bring back the biggest winners and let's do a thing? Because I have a feeling they're going to, if they don't do it already, they're going to start it. You're going to be there again.
I hope they do because I don't have that opportunity to be on the Biggest Losers of Wheel of Fortune. So
Yeah, right. Wow. So now that you were the biggest winner on Price is Right, do you still...
or one of the.
One of them. Do you still have the itch of like, what's my next game show going to be? Are you still feeling it? You are.
I am,
like,
for
you're
sure.
into it.
I would love to do another
If
one.
anybody is watching or listening, what advice would you give if they're thinking like, I always wanted to do it, but I'm not going to get picked. I'm not going to have it. What would be your advice to them?
My advice would be, if you don't try, you'll never know.
Exactly.
And that's for anything. That's not just for game shows. That's for a job or
Right.
anything.
Anything. If you don't put your hat in the ring, you're never going to know.
Exactly. You could be one of those 600.
Like you were. Like Alessandra Curcio from Hawthorne, New Jersey, the big winner on The Price is Right. That is so awesome. I can't wait. Let me know when everything's delivered, when you're ready to have the barbecue.
Yeah.
Seriously, we'll come and we'll do a little live stream.
Awesome. I would love to.
Congratulations.
Thank
And let
you.
me know if you get on another show.
I would love to let you know. In fact, I did get reached out to by another show. I'll keep you posted if anything happens.
Okay, you
but
can't say what it is yet.
I
Don't
guess I
jinx
could
it.
say. Press Your Luck, which I would love to be on, reached out to me.
Oh, I don't even know that show. Press Your
Oh
Luck.
my God, it was like one of the really old game shows from like
They
I
brought
think
it
the
back?
70s. They brought it back, and I got reached out. I submitted my information. They reached out to me and they said, "Hey, we have a couple more questions for you, and then we'll call you within
So
a few days."
you know already the bait's on the hook and they're starting to reel it in a little bit. All right.
But they didn't call me back, and I think it's because I said, "But my Price is Right" episode at the time didn't air yet, so I'll have to try again.
All right. Well, listen, guys. Get online. Just apply. Apply. If you ever want to be on a game show, just apply. Because the worst thing that can happen is you're going to be stuck at home like you are now anyway. Right?
And you could try again.
Right. There's no limit to how many times
There's
you can
no
apply.
limit.
So you can just keep applying.
You could keep going for the rest of your life.
I'm going to do, you know what? I'm going to do it when I get home.
You should.
I'm going to do it.
There's people that wear shirts to The Price is Right. Like, I've been waiting my whole life to be on The Price is Right. And they get on.
Well, I'm going to wear the Towncast shirt.
You should. And you should say, I know someone who was on this show.
I'm definitely going to do that. And go see the clip. Go check my podcast.
Yeah.
And see. Well, congratulations
Thank
to
you.
and to your husband. It's so exciting. And now I could say that I finally met someone that was not only on a game show, was on several game shows, and it was the big winner on The Price is Right.
Yes.
That's so great.
And I got my
Congratulations.
redemption.
You got your redemption.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So listen, again, get online, apply. You never know. You never know. If there's a favorite game show you want to be on, just apply. The worst thing that can happen is you're not going to get on, which you're not on now anyway. But the best thing that can happen is you can end up like Alessandra Curcio, and big winner on The Price is Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Be well, everybody.